I'm here with Anissa and Rakia, and we are holding it down right now. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. My bad.
It's okay.
Sorry. What?
Go ahead, say your name.
Cheyenne Zellers.
I'm so sorry. That is embarrassing. Cheyenne, I apologize, by the way. That's so embarrassing.
Unfortunately, that was not the worst moment that came from the Dump Diver draft the other night in the WNBA. It was arguably the most embarrassing moment, especially for ESPN, the same ESPN who claims to be the proud home of pretend basketball. They are so proud to be associated with pretend basketball that ESPN can't bother to look through the missing persons report to figure out the names of the unknown players that they're interviewing. Haley Vanderwinkle, or Haley Van Winkle, Haley Lith Van or Van Lith. Who cares? If ESPN can't take the time to properly identify WNBA players, then why in the hell should I? I do know, though, that her first name is Haley, and she appeared to be absolutely miserable the other night when she was drafted by the Chicago Bravado. ESPN, they tried their damnedest to make it a heartwarming moment. Harriet, how does it feel to be reunited with your former bestie, Angel Reese? My name is Haley. It doesn't matter what your name is. Just answer the question. Haley Van Lith looking miserable at the draft. Haley Van Lith looking miserable atop the Empire State Building before she was fitted for her hard hat and steel-toed boots. That was not the worst moment for the WNBA either. For the last few months, the mainstream media, they have tried to convince us that Paige Bueckers is a draw. Me personally, I think she's a star, but I'm not exactly convinced that she is a draw. If you have been following this channel for a while, then you already know the difference between a star and a mainstream draw. There are a lot of stars. There are very, very few draws. The WWE is filled with stars. Hell, they call everyone in the damn company a superstar. But when you look through the history of professional wrestling or sports entertainment, you'll find a lot of stars, but there's only a handful of draws. There's only a handful of people over the past 40 or 50 years who have the impact, the drawing power to elevate the product into the mainstream. Hulk Hogan, maybe Andre the Giant, Ric Flair, Steve Austin, The Rock, John Cena. That's about it. Well, what about Triple H? Triple H reminds me a lot of Angel Reese. Triple H was always the dude who worked with the mainstream stars, but he was never the guy. He was always a level below the dudes who were drawing the money. Whether or not Paige Bueckers is a star or a draw, that remains to be seen. Judging by the ratings for the Dump Diver draft the other night, Paige Bueckers is not a mainstream draw yet. WNBA drew 1.3 million viewers the other night for the draft on ESPN. Now, that number, it can be credited 100% to Paige Bueckers because every other player involved was completely unknown. Well, KC, what about Sedona Prince? Her not being drafted was a major story. Who? Who is Madonna Prince? Although 1.3 million is a great number for the WNBA, it is significantly below what Caitlin Clark drew last year. Matter of fact, it's 50% lower than what Caitlin Clark drew last year. But I've noticed something this week that could have devastating consequences for Angel Reese. Unlike Caitlin Clark, Paige Bueckers has been embraced with open and hairy arms into the WNBA. Players have embraced her potentially in ways that we don't even know about. More importantly, the mainstream media has embraced her. And I'm starting to wonder if this media-created rivalry that is building between Paige Bueckers and Caitlin Clark will completely overshadow Angel Reese. Make sure to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. Let's get to the sponsor for today's video. I actually ate some of their protein popcorn for lunch today after I finished exercising. My good friends at Whoa Mama Protein. As we get older, we start to realize how important it is to take care of our bodies. Diet, exercise, very important, but it can be hard to maintain a strict diet, especially if you love snack food. My wife loves snacks, but there are times when she feels guilty after eating them. Doesn't have to worry about that guilt anymore because she's recently been consuming a healthier version of snacks from Whoa Mama Protein. Whoa Mama Protein was started by two best friends who wanted to create healthy snacks without sacrificing quality and taste. They started out with protein gelato, and recently they released a new line of protein popcorn. Each bag contains 5 grams of protein and only 140 calories. It's also gluten-free and contains no artificial coloring or artificial flavoring. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. I was initially skeptical about this. A lot of times, healthier versions of anything just doesn't taste the same. But I'm telling you, the protein popcorn from Whoa Mama Protein, it not only tastes the same, I think it tastes significantly better. You will not be disappointed. Protein popcorn from Whoa Mama Protein is available in honey mustard, Diablo fire. My personal favorite, the garlic parmesan. So click the link in the description below. Use my promo code BTL10, BTL10. Save 10% off your first purchase with Whoa Mama Protein. There's been a lot of speculation this week as to why Paige Bueckers was instantly embraced by the WNBA. Some are claiming that she was accepted because she identifies with the first letter in the identifier alphabet, L. Whether or not that's true, I don't know, and to be honest with you, I really don't care. The WNBA is the only league that celebrates sexuality. Zion Williamson bangs an OnlyFans model. He gets vilified. Paige Bueckers touches some lady's hand at the WNBA Draft, and the media celebrates her progress. Oh, they've made it to second base! Some are claiming that Paige Bueckers was instantly accepted because I guess she knows her place. 4 years ago, she was giving an acceptance speech for some doofus award. I think it was the ESPY Awards, which would make sense. Most people have forgotten about this moment because no one is watching the ESPYs. Paige Bueckers was accepting the award for, hell, I don't know, white girl who plays basketball, and she used the moment as an opportunity to apologize for her white privilege. Watch for yourself.
As a white woman who leads a black-led sport and celebrated here, I want to show a light on black women. They don't get the media coverage that they deserve. WNBA last season, the postseason awards, 80% of the winners were black, but they got half the amount of coverage as the white athletes. So I think it's time for change.
Whether it's apologizing for white privilege, combating mythical racism, or claiming that misogyny is the reason the WNBA has been ignored for decades, whatever the reason, Paige Bueckers has been embraced by WNBA players and their pretend friends in the mainstream media. She has chosen her side, which is something that Caitlin Clark has yet to do. Like we talked about, I think it was last week, Caitlin Clark is still trying to appease both sides. She makes subtle comments about her privilege, but she doesn't go far enough to piss off her fan base. I've noticed this week that the media has been hyping up the first meeting between Caitlin Clark and Paige Bueckers, or the Indiana Felines and the Dallas Wankers. I've also noticed that the media has been overwhelmingly positive in their coverage of Paige Bueckers. Now, this is pure speculation on my part, but this is what I think the media is doing. The spankers in the media actually believe that Caitlin Clark is popular because she's white. They think little girls idolize her because she lacks melanin. They think grown men watched women's basketball for the first time because a white girl was dominating the sport. I know for normal people it sounds ridiculous, but this is how our media thinks. I think the media is creating this rivalry between Caitlin Clark and Paige Bueckers, hoping that Paige Bueckers will become the new face of the WNBA. The media will continue demonizing Caitlin Clark while praising her rival. And they're hoping that people will instantly follow Paige Bueckers because she also lacks melanin. You see, the media is fine with Paige being the face of the WNBA because she's already proven to be a loyal comrade. They can depend on her, maybe even control her. They can't do that with Caitlin Clark, either because she is unwilling or she's realized that she does not need the media to be a mainstream draw. I think this WNBA season is going to be dominated by this media-created rivalry between Caitlin Clark and Paige Bueckers. The battle of the white girls. The question is, where would that leave Angel Reese? You ever heard that saying, two's company, three's a crowd? Look at the NBA the last few years, hell, the last few decades. It's been LeBron, Steph Curry, then everyone else. Before that, it was Kobe, Shaq, or Kobe, Allen Iverson. During the 80s, it was Magic, Bird. In most cases, it's always a pair, not a trio. If Caitlin Clark and Paige Bueckers is the main storyline, it could create a situation where Angel Reese is completely overshadowed. And look, it would make sense. We have plenty of evidence that proves Angel Reese is not a draw. The year she won the national championship at LSU, program lost millions of dollars. She wasn't selling out home games in college, wasn't selling out last year with the Chicago Bravado. Angel Reese was the face of Unrivaled, and their ratings were worse than primetime ratings at CNN. But KC, Angel Reese has millions of followers on social media. She has more followers than Caitlin Clark and Paige Bueckers combined. Angel Reese is a huge star. Yeah, Angel Reese is a star, but she's not a draw. People are not paying to watch her attempt to play basketball. Tomorrow night, I'll be watching Mavs Grizzlies. I don't give a shit what else is going on. I'll be watching that game. Saturday night when I get home from playing golf, I'll be watching Lakers Wolves. There are matchups in the NBA playoffs that I am just not going to miss. I'm not doing that same thing for Angel Reese. Are you? Obviously, you're not. If you were, the numbers would show it. I think Angel Reese is at risk of being completely overshadowed this season, and I'm interested to see how she handles it. Give me your thoughts on this. Ratings for the WNBA draft down 50%. What do you think about my theory, though? Is the media creating this rivalry between Caitlin Clark and Paige Bueckers, hoping that Paige Bueckers becomes the face of the WNBA? And if so, will that cause Angel Reese to be overshadowed? Let me know. Sound off in the comments below. I'll see you guys tomorrow.